The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, and while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon my floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I was scarce was sure that I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, dreams no mortal ever dared before. But the silence was unbroken, and all the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and the echo muttered back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what the threat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open there I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but within the mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Thalus, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad face into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no lively human being ever yet was blessed with seeing birds above his chamber door, bird or beast above the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." I startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken. "Doubtless," I said, "what it utters Is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy face to smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird, and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking of this ominous bird of yore. What this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining, and the lamplight gloated o'er. But those whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfume from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he has sent thee, respite, and nymphy to the memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nymphy, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, the thing of evil, prophet still, the bird or devil, whether tempest sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land, enchanted on this home by honor haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet still, bird or devil, but that heaven that bends above us, by that God which we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within this distant Aden it shall clasp it's a sainted maiden, whom angels name Lenore, clasps a rare and radiant maiden, whom angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign imparting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, and quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak out from my heart, and take thy form off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And that raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Phallus just above my chamber door. In his eyes all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe.